It's an absolute honour and pleasure to have you both chatting with us today for Good Call Live. Thank you for taking some time out of your no doubt busy schedules to chat with us. So I'm Shannon, this is Liz, and we co-manage Good Call, and we are huge fans of your work.
Oh, it's lovely to meet you both.
Lovely to meet you too. Yeah. How are you both? We hope you've been doing well during these strange times.
Good. We're great. We're having fun, enjoying lockdown.
Yeah, we've been seeing a bit of that. Yeah. And so the big news and why we're here today all together in this setting is the release on June 12. It's coming up pretty quite fast, of the best of anthology albums. It's a double album. Akilah Tour, is that how I pronounce that? Akilah
Perfect.
Got it right.
Perfect.
It's 27 tracks. It's huge. We've been lucky enough to have a listen ourselves ahead of the release. It's so divine. How did you choose songs to include? That must have been quite the task.
Yeah, what we did was I made a list, Linda made a list, we compared notes and our manager as well. And everything we agreed on went on, and then other things we had a bit of a discussion. But we sort of picked our favourites basically.
Yeah.
Didn't we, Lulu?
Yeah. I mean, it kind of took a bit of time to kind of choose. Our opinions don't always match up, but we had to make sure that we 100% agreed on everything that's on the record and the versions of them, because we have had a few versions of different songs, or the same song.
So it wasn't
right.
It's picking ones that were already recorded as well. Am I right? They're not ones that you've gone in specifically and re-recorded?
We re-recorded one song, and it falls outside the timeline of the anthology, but I wrote it with Paul Kelly, and on a fishing trip, Vika was there, and we just thought it's a song that we've done a lot of singing with Paul, and Vika's done a lot of solo singing with him. I have too, but we wanted something that we had written together. We've written a few songs with him, but Down on the Jetty was kind of special to us, so we re-recorded that.
I didn't write it. Linda did.
Nice.
Yeah, Linda wrote that song with Paul, and it's a really beautiful song. And yeah, because I don't like songwriting.
You don't at all?
No.
She hates it.
But that's okay, because together you can do what you love. You do what you love. We do that as well. I'm a writer. Liz is a photographer. So when we team up, we work together, and we both have the things that we love, and then combined.
Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, exactly. So
that's how we work, because we're so different. Like, we're actually quite opposite.
We're just soul sisters.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
It's
the
easier.
best kind.
So speaking of favourite songs from the album starts off with Hard Love, which is my personal favourite.
Mine is When Will You Fall For Me?
So one of those impossible questions, I can imagine. Impossible to pick a favourite for you, but could you both pick one song in particular that just you knew it had to be on the album? One that you were just like, oh, that's a favourite. We love singing it. We love performing it. It's got to go on there.
Gee.
Hard one, sorry.
I love The Blue Hour. That was a favourite for me. Vika sings that. It's a Stephen Cummings song from the first album we did, and it was just like, she sang it at my wedding. Aww. And I mean, the wedding didn't work, but the song's still there.
Got one of those under well.
I can't. Mine's probably the Parting Song.
Another beautiful track.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's Dad's least favourite. That's why it's my favourite. No, I'm kidding. It's our father doesn't. He doesn't. He's not particularly. It's all about him and his wishes when he dies. You see, and he goes, I don't want the whole world to know how I want to be buried. Blah blah blah. What'd you have to go and put it in a song for? So, but I think it's beautiful the way he wants to be sent off. So. Linda, me and Paul wrote that song, and that's one of my favourite songs.
Oh,
that's really special. Yeah.
And you've been gifting your fans and followers with some absolutely stunning live streams on your Facebook and Instagram pages with the Sunday Sing Songs. It's so wonderful to have live performances online whilst the restrictions for live gigs continue. So did you enjoy doing those and seeing such a welcomed and grateful response from your followers?
Well, we started off, the first one we did, you know, no pressure. We thought, we just sing a song, whack it up. And as the weeks went on, it got more and more like, oh, okay. More and more, we got more stressed, didn't we, Lulu? Because it was like, how are we going to shoot it? Which location? Like, you know, everyone's seen this lounge room 1,000 times. You know, maybe move some pictures around, do all that sort of stuff. You know, maybe we should do it in the kitchen. It was like, you know, it was like everyone's commenting on our jumpsuits. You know, it's like, shit, we've only got like 4 or 5 jumpsuits. So it's like, it's not gonna, you know.
Hey, like, you wear my jumpsuit and I'll wear yours.
And now you've got some merch from that as well, with the ISO City Limit tea towel.
So cool.
Well, we thought, you know, make something to sort of, you know, to remember this time, because it's very unusual.
It is unusual time.
Yeah.
And now you can wash our dishes with our faces.
Yeah.
It's the coolest merch idea. I absolutely love it. Every kitchen should have one.
Thank you.
So something that grabs me about your performances, whether it's a live performance or behind a camera for a live stream, is the natural confidence you both have when you sing and you perform. Is that something you've always had within you, or is it something that has grown over time, over the years of performing?
It's a hard question again. Gee, you girls are coming out with them today. It's great, making us think.
It's getting better, isn't it? You have your moment. You get sort of more confident as you go along, and then you have moments when you're not. It's like, that's just me speaking. Like, sometimes you just wake up, you're just feeling a little bit off, but you know that there's certain skills you've got that you can rely on that probably won't let you down, but we also have each other to bounce off, and that's really great. Like, if I'm having an off day, Vic will pick up the slack, and hopefully it's vice versa. So confidence grows with age.
Yeah, I think it does. You're right. If you've got more experience, you know, you know what you have to do to get through certain situations. But I think I've always sort of never had a problem with getting up on stage and singing. I've always wanted to be a singer. But nerves do come in a lot just before you're about to walk out on stage. You get incredibly nervous, and then once you're out there, and you just got to do your job. It's just okay. Just got to get through this and do it as best as we possibly can. So I think, but yeah, over the years, I think you get more and more. Well, you know, it's a weird thing, really. You know what you got to do, but then I find I probably get more nervous now as I'm older than I did when I was younger.
Oh, really?
Yeah, actually, it's like, you know, you get that. You know, when you're young, you're just like, I'm just going to do it. Yeah, you know, go for it.
I get that. There's like an innocence to you when you're younger. So you're like, oh, whatever. If I stuff up, I do. I just keep going. But I guess maybe when you get older, you're more aware of things. So you're going, oh, hang on, got to get that all perfect. And
that's exactly right.
Yeah, I get that.
And music is clearly a part of your hearts and souls, something you were both born to do. Do you recall that moment or that particular point in time when you thought, okay, this is what I'm doing for the rest of my life? Is there a pinpoint moment, or it's just something that
organically happens?
You got to ask that first.
Me?
Yeah, you started first.
You started this.
No, I always want. No, so when did we decide we wanted to be singers? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. What was the moment?
Yeah. What was the moment? No. The moment was always there for me from a very young age.
Yeah. Okay.
So from the minute I could probably open my mouth and started singing, that was what I was always going to do. There was no question. I didn't want to do anything else. And Mum and Dad knew that too. They went, well, she's probably going to be a singer, you know, when she gets older, probably. And they're probably hoping more that I be an opera singer rather than join a rock and roll band and, you know, sex and drugs and rock and roll and all that sort of stuff. But
nothing against,
you know, that's what I wanted to do. Pardon? Sorry?
Against opera singers, but we're glad that you chose the route that you did. So
rock and roll.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I wish I did. I do love opera singing, but yeah, no, it was always there for me. What about you, Lulu?
No, I was dragged along. I was sort of more quiet. I wanted to be an artist, and I knew though the first time I saw Vika sing that was what she was going to do. But I was always kind of like, oh, I wouldn't mind being a microbiologist. Gee, I could be a painter. I like looking at sort of the quieter side of life. The life in music was not something that I had ever planned, but I knew we could sing together. And when we got up on stage and sang, one of the first times we did that, on a massive scale, I thought, well, this is okay. We can do this. It's sort of kind of like what we do in our lounge room anyway, but with a lot more attention. So, yeah, I thought it was I kind of fell into it, but I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. And that segues into my next question, which is that from 1988 to 94, you were members of the Black Sorrows. So tell us a little bit about that time in your life and then the transition into being a duo, into being Vika and Linda. I know that's a loaded question. You've probably got
The Black Sorrows was an incredible time for us. It opened so many doors. We traveled the world a lot. But I remember going from that band, when we first joined that band, Joe was recording Hold On To Me, and we would play in pubs in South Melbourne to no one. I remember. Wow. And then Chain to the Wheel was released, and it just went bang. One song, it just completely changed our audience. And so we just sort of, from there, it just sort of went from there to working 6 nights a week, for 7 years. We just toured constantly. And I think it really kind of made us tough, made us strong. Growing up in that Australian pub scene, having to perform in, those sweaty, hot, smoky kind of environments.
Amazing.
That was really good training for a rock and roll singer, I reckon.
Yeah. And we had each other. So, it's like sometimes the life on the road's quite lonely, and we can pull each other into line. Vika and I did that with each other quite a lot, and we looked after each other, and we had to keep our voices straight and pretty much focused without being pains in the neck. But we knew what we had to do. We were getting paid to do it. Taken around the world 8 times in 7 or 6 years, and we, didn't take that for granted. So we worked really hard, but also always knew that we were going to leave the Sorrows and have our own career. So in the background, we would be working songwriters, writing our own material, doing our own shows with our own band at small pubs and building our own following. So we were kind of balancing both over those years. And luckily we did, because, we're still working with the Sorrows on and off, and we still have our own band. So we would be lucky.
Yeah, absolutely. That's amazing.
I think that just singing backing vocals for Joe, and even though we could already harmonise with one another, because we were taught to do that from a very young age by our mother, but then being in that band, it helped us develop our sound.
Yeah.
And so then going from there into our next, like when we went solo, all the homework and all the kind of stuff had been done. All we had to do was just sort of, find songs and just because I consider myself to be a harmony singer. I love singing harmonies with Linda. Yeah. And when we're together and then we harmonise with someone else like Joe or Paul Kelly, I like it even more because it's 3 voices, and I just love that sound.
And again, that segues naturally into my next question. So well, thank you for that. So let's talk about Rock Whiz. What an amazing show and concept that was. We're huge fans of Rock Whiz. And that's an example of where you got the opportunity to perform with other artists. I think one of my favourites was when you teamed up with Ella Hooper and did the Divinals' Pleasure and Pain. And then there was Gimme Shelter with Tim Rogers. Amazing, like just so many amazing performances on Rock Whiz. So what are some of your fondest memories of the Rock Whiz days?
There's so many. They are such great people to work for. The whole team. They just, incredible, friendly, talented people. Yeah, very hardworking. And then, you know, and I think the great thing about that show is that, yeah, it brings young and old together. So you got your young up and coming musicians, you have your experienced ones, and then they brought them together, they got them to sing together. And I thought that was such a great thing, you know, comedy, you know, a quiz and music. What's not to love?
Well, I agree. I think that all those things, but also the fact that the audience are the stars, you know, that's just genius. And it's not about the acts, it's not about the band, it's not about the, you know, the host. It's that everyone comes together to sort of, you know, bring the audience member up and give them the focus. That's what I like about the show.
Yeah, it was really cool like that.
Absolutely.
It was cool like that.
Together, young and old. Your music appeals to the broadest of audiences, both my parents, who saw you at the house in February, and my children, who saw you perform at the Making Gravy concert at River Stage. Totally in awe. And of course, I love you guys too. Did you go in there with the aim to have such a broad appeal, or do you think that just came naturally with your style and approach to your music?
I think it came naturally. We didn't mean it. we you know, we sing everything. We sing rock, we sing country, we sing gospel, reggae, soul, and I think because it's so diverse, that kind of makes the audience diverse. Because it's like
you're aware of, you have fans that are
of all ages.
Of all ages, like my kids are 11 and 12, and Paul Kelly walked out onto that River Stage, and it was like, "That's great, we're here for Paul Kelly." And then you guys walked out, and the kids were. Like I hadn't made them aware that you guys were going to be there too, and I just didn't realise that they wanted to be here today.
Oh, that's really, I think that's lovely, because, you know, it's really, you know, I that just really makes my heart flutter, you know, to have that kids, you know, like to enjoy our voices, and I just think it's nice. Pardon?
Very much
all
so.
ages. Yeah. All ages makes us happy, because, you know, I like that about music. If our music does that, then it makes me happy too.
No, Absolutely. It definitely does that.
Yeah, I like that we have a very broad audience. That you know, that's what it's all about. That music is for everyone, not just for, you know, that's what I like about it. I like it when I look out into the audience and you've got kids and you've got grandma and grandpa and you've got everybody there. It's just great.
Yeah. And it's really special to have that appeal, that broad range of fans and people that can appreciate and enjoy your music. So we won't keep you much longer. To end the chat, we just wanted to mention one of the other reasons we were so happy and excited to have this opportunity to Zoom chat with you today. So we were at the Brisbane Powerhouse back in February, on the night where, ironically, the Powerhouse lost power. So we were there ready.
What a disaster!
Sorry.
No, we're not bringing it up for it to be a negative thing. More so, we wanted to commend, first of all, how everyone handled it. The venue was so lovely.
That was so good.
They handled it so well. I mean, it was devastating, but at the same time, you know, we saw the light side of it. We did laugh that the Powerhouse had no power. You know, something that we sort of went as if that would ever happen. So it did. So our question is, though, once live music restrictions have been lifted, will you be coming back to Brisbane to hopefully play the Powerhouse, perhaps a tour around the new album when the time is right?
Yes, definitely.
Definitely.
And that's all.
That's all we need. Okay.
No, we are. It's all booked. It's all booked in. We're coming back.
Excellent.
Oh,
that's
so
fantastic.
exciting.
Yeah, me too.
We can't wait.
Yeah. Well, we love Brisbane.
We could have come out into the foyer, and we wanted to, but it would slow down the evacuation, and, you know, we didn't want to do that and put people in danger. But that was our intention, to come out and say, "Yeah, sorry," you know, but
sing a song, maybe, you know. But it was like, no, we got to. The powers that be said, no, we got to, you know, this is what's going to happen, because the air conditioning went off, didn't it? Yeah. Was it hot?
To evacuate. Yeah.
But the Powerhouse people handled it so well. They were
That's great.
completely professional and lighthearted about it across the bar. If you had cash, you could still get a drink. So it's
That's good.
So we had a quick few drinks, and then I think
That's
we were
good.
having pancakes at the Pancake Manor that night. It was a comparison to seeing you guys perform, but you know, pancakes to, you know.
I love pancakes.
Who doesn't?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for your time today. We'll end it there. It's been an absolute honour and pleasure to speak to you both today. And we absolutely love the new album, and really excited to see you when you come back to Brisbane.
It's been really lovely talking to you girls. Thank you very much.
You too.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.